YouTube, welcome to episode 4 I think of Trades Tuesday. Yeah, so I went out last night. Apologies for the videos being dark, but that's just one of the things that happens at night. So I went and I did a swap. I got rid of the black vintage P-base. Done quite a nice swap with it. So here's some video of me in the car talking about it. Hey YouTube, Trade Tuesday again, well Monday night. I'm doing this video again because we've now got street lights, so you might actually be able to see me. I'm just driving through the centre of Glasgow right now. I've done a trade swap, which was quite a good timing for it. The vintage P-base that I got maybe 2 weeks ago, I went to Alloa to get. I have now swapped it for a vintage Les Paul, a VS100. So it worked out quite well, kind of got pretty much what I wanted, because I never actually had a vintage Les Paul before. Quite interested in them. It doesn't have any pots in it, so that's how I'm trading up, you know, so it's kind of what I wanted to do. Ideally selling something that works and swapping it for something that will be worth more money once I've fixed it. Yeah, so it's got 2 volumes and 2 tones, not there. I may do some sort of Jimmy Page type wiring. The full Jimmy Page is both the volume controls are push-pull pots, so it makes them split coils, and the other 2 tone controls, one of them is a master series, which puts the 2 pickups in series with each other, and the other one is a phase reverse, so it knocks the 2 pickups out of phase, which gives you a lot of options. I don't know, I have done it before. It's just basically it's switches I do all the time. It's just not, I don't normally put them all in the same guitar. I think Jimmy Page was just sitting there thinking, well, there's 4 knobs, I might as well make it do 4 different things. The phase thing, for me, I kind of would rather put a phase in when you've got 2 humbuckers and you can't split them, because it's kind of the same ballpark what you get phasing up. The reason I'm doing this video here is just speaking over the Kingston Bridge. So over there you've got the Clyde, over there you've got the Clyde, so this is us going over the Clyde. Yeah. So this guy's from Houston, which is just on the other side of Glasgow from me, and I suggested we met halfway, so we're meeting, doing a proper drug deal type dodgy thing in the Asda car park at Ibrox, which I'm going to get to in 5 minutes. I'm going to be 10 minutes early, so annoyingly I'd like to have been a bit more early so I could go get some shopping first. If I'm only 10 minutes early, I don't know if 10 minutes is long enough to go in and get my shopping and come back out again, so it's kind of annoying. I would have been a wee bit earlier if I'd remembered to bring the base with me on the way out. I didn't get very far. I got out my street. Before I hit the main road, I started thinking, yeah, so swap this base. Oh, tell you what, I'll bring the base with me. I've also double checked twice to make sure it was the right base, because I got a Stag P-base last week as well. It's the vintage one he's looking at. So I will get back to you when I hit the car park. I will probably film it with the guy, see if there's anything to be had from it. Don't know, just stealing the ideas from talking left, right and centre. Catch you later. Yeah, for some reason it looks to be upside down. So here we are, lovely night in Govan. This is Ada, not Asda like it should be. I'm 10 minutes early, which is right here, the most annoying time. If I'd been 5 minutes early, that'd be fine. If I'd been 50 minutes early, I could have gone and got some food. So I'm just going to sit here and wait. Just be some sort of football club going on next door. So just a view of, this is what Asda in Govan looks like. Alrighty, how's it going? I'm filming this. I won't put it up if you don't want me to. I just put a wee look. No, I'm doing a wee YouTube series thing, you know, when you trade up, and this is perfect for my second in the run. That looks fine. Rock-a-doodle. That's perfect. Hold that a second, I'll show you the base. Oh. It's a pretty solid P-base. Pretty much no issues with it at all. Amazing stuff. Right, that was it. Excellent, I'll go and get my shopping now then. It's really annoying, I was 10 minutes early. If I'd been 15 minutes early, I would have gone and shopping. Right. You're sitting there, if it's 10 minutes, I'm just going to end up, you know
I was going to be here about 10 minutes, quarter to an hour before, but I thought I'm going to be too early, so I went for a wee drive.
Alright. Oh well, that's great, thanks very much, man. I'll send you a video when I've got it up and running.
Found that. I don't know if it's of any interest to you, but I found that.
Well, it's good. It's always an option, isn't it? With or without, the age-old question. Excellent. Right, thanks very much. Catch you later, man. Cheers. If I filmed it, I did put the camera on before the guy looked at me like an idiot, but most people look at me like an idiot, so that's fine. So now I'm going to go in and get some noodles from the Asda. And that's really the extent of my plans tonight, I think. I'll probably do a wee bit of a video when I go home. I haven't done a video today because I was busy making up the new swirl caster, which has worked out quite well. It's got a coil adder switch in it. I've gone for the very much black and white colour scheme. There's the door. I've never actually been in this one before. How close to the door can I get parked? That'll do, right in front of the door. Rocket. So, noodle time. I should probably, maybe one time I'll take the camera in with me. You can see what kind of noodles to buy. Catch you soon. Tesco there, looking for one of my pals sent me gave me a bottle of wine a couple of weeks ago, called Magnum. It's like a wee stumpy bottle, and it's sort of like a sort of Jamaican buckfasty type thing, and I noticed Tesco online had it, so I figured if I went to the biggest Tesco I could think of, the chances are they might have it. They didn't. I very nearly bought a bottle of Synatogen wine though, but I decided against it. I haven't had that since I remember going to see, I think it was Roger Waters in Manchester, and Synatogen was long. If you can't find Bucky, you buy Synatogen because it's sort of the same. It tastes like Benylin, actually very similar to the Magnum stuff. So I didn't get it. I need to buy it online. But yeah, so the vintage Les Paul looks amazing. I've only seen it in the dark, obviously, but it looks to be in mint condition. It's also, I thought, the last couple of vintage things I've had have been sort of earlier ones. I think this one is a later on one, which has the Wilkinson hardware on it, which might be quite good. It might be worth a little bit more than I thought it was. Still doesn't have any pots on it. The guy even remembered to give me the scratch plate, so that the decision on whether you put a scratch plate or not on a Les Paul can go to the person who buys it or trades for it. I think it might be quite a good one for the tradie thing, because it looks really nice. And I suppose still aiming for a Gibson Les Paul. I've been talking to a couple of my pals about it, you know, how do you end the tradie up thing, because it's not going to be far away from getting to the point where I'm starting to get uncomfortable with the amount of money guitars cost, you know. So looking at the the Trockley's one, he was wanting a Gibson custom shop, and it's like, you know, it's a couple of £1,000s, and I know, okay, I'm kind of distancing myself a little bit this way because it's not my money technically. Well, it was to start with, and trading up, but once it starts to get to sort of £400 or £500, you really are in the sort of realms of I wouldn't buy a guitar for that, I don't think, for myself, unless it was something particularly special. I don't know what that is though. It wouldn't be like a, for myself anyway, it wouldn't be like a normal guitar, you know, it wouldn't be like an American Strat or something like that I was spending that amount of money on. It'd have to be something a little bit exciting and well, I don't know, or do it, or do I just try and buy what people like? I think the vintage will be a good video as well. I'm going to do a bit of a video when I go home just now, and then I'll set it up, because tomorrow night I'm going into the studio in a place called Lanark with the drummer and the singer from Cranking House and some guy who they know years ago, who's I think just opened up a studio in Lanark, so we're going down just for a bit of a gym jam. So that'll be interesting. I've also got a sort of, hopefully utilising my, depending on this, if this doesn't turn out to be super dark and impossible to use, I might do a wee bit of a video going to it. I've got a new special clamp thing which I'm really pleased with. It clamps the GoPro to the head of the bass, so maybe record a song or two with the, you know, Gary Moore style, with the camera looking down the fretboard. That'd be pretty cool. Just make a bit of an event out of it, and hopefully I'll have this video which will be going up hopefully tomorrow night about 7 o'clock as usual, but I will finish it tonight, and then fireworks. I shall schedule it to come on tomorrow evening, assuming I manage to get anything out of this. It might just be a dark nothingness. Who knows, with my beautiful voice over the top of it. Yeah, so quite excited about this. I'm really pleased at how well it timed. You know, just in time for what I was going to do for my Trade Tuesday video tomorrow. I've kind of been cheating a little bit. I think I've done 3 episodes so far and I've only bought things. So I managed to get one out every week. I'm not exactly sure. There are no rules. Well, the only rules are ones that I've made, and I've not made any, so it's kind of, I'm just making it up as I go along. It's just kind of basically the way I do things. You know, so I don't want to be too planning, but I still quite fancy a Les Paul, like a Gibson one, as a sort of a final end game. See if I can actually get a Les Paul that I like. There is one which I've seen which I quite fancy, and that's the one that matches my 95, I think, or early 90s SG Special Ferrari Red, and they did do a Les Paul Studio that was Ferrari Red with the ebony fingerboard. That would be pretty awesome, but I don't think they're that cheap. I don't think they're cheap at all. I don't think any Gibson Les Pauls are cheap. It's either that or I go for, I quite fancy the LPJ, which is a sort of cheapy version. Speed camera. Yeah, that, or you know, maybe one of these 70s tributey ones or something. I think it's got to be well, I don't know, it depends what pops up. I think it's got to be a humbucker one, really. It's got to be a Les Paul, but then again you start thinking, oh, I quite like the juniors, and you know, like a TV yellow junior would be pretty smashing. I don't really have any desire for an SG for myself. I just feel that I kind of got the one I wanted like 20 years ago. I just wanted a Gibson SG. I got one. It's Ferrari Red. It's a really nice one. That's really all I want. I really don't. I was told when I got it that the specials and the standards at that era were the same guitar. Like, they started off on the same line. They cut them out, and the ones that had a not very nice looking grain got painted solid colour, given an ebony fingerboard, and then they became specials. And the ones that did have a nicer grain went to the translucent colour. They get a fingerboard that's got binding on it, and they get covered pickups, but apart from that it's the same guitar. So I'm one for thinking, oh, what, the same thing but cheaper, that's fine. So kind of probably want to go that way with the Les Paul as well, rather than, you know, buying a, who knows, could end up anywhere. I'm just gibbering now. I don't think any of this will make it onto the video. I'm just running through Bishopbriggs just now, which is where, who's famous from Bishopbriggs? Capaldi, the guy, the previous Doctor Who before they got the women in. I can't remember, is it just, I want to say Jim Capaldi, but I think Jim Capaldi was, am I getting them mixed up? It's not Jim. Christopher Capaldi? I can't remember what his name is. He's from Bishopbriggs, so there you go. That's here. I'm sure other people are as well. Rocket. Hey, I'm back. So, here it is, the vintage V100. This was cheap, well, I traded it because it didn't have any knobs. Didn't have any, the guy said it didn't have any pots. Turned out it did actually have pots when I went inside it. It's just that I needed the wee nut and the washer to hold them on, and then they needed reconnected up. So I did that. I'm not 100% sure exactly what I'm going to do with this. There was thoughts of maybe putting the Jimmy Page wiring in. I didn't actually have 4 knobs the same, so that's why I've kind of done this Gary Moore type thing. I might order them. The way I look at it, something like that, anyone can order these knobs from China on eBay for like, I think a $5 for a set of 4 for whatever ones you want. So I'm not sure I'm really going to bother with that. So, yeah. So I've got it connected up. The bridge pickup seems to be working fine. Something not right with the neck pickup though. The tone control doesn't work on it, so I think it might be a bad pot. So I think the tone might be semi-wedged on. But that just doesn't sound right, whereas that does. Yeah, so I mean, these get rave reviews. It's got a nice, not too extreme bit of subtlety going on here, a wee bit of tiger flamey. The things are actually in very, very good condition. There's like a few wee sort of light surface scratches if you hold the light up to it, but apart from there's no dents or dings, which is pretty rare for me. This is, as I suggested in the video there, it is the one with the Wilkinson W111, maybe make it a 2011, designed in association with Trevor Wilkinson. So this is like a sort of a more modern one. I don't know exactly when they changed. So this one has Wilkinson Deluxe Scholler, it's not Scholler, Closen type snot buttons. It's a set neck. I'm assuming it's a maple top and a mahogany body. You can't actually see the wood through the covering on it. Wilkinson humbuckers. I'd imagine probably Wilkinson bridge. They don't say on them, or on the top anyway. I'll need to take it to bits and have a look at it. It's just that when I was fine with it when it didn't have any knobs on it, didn't have any tone controls, but as soon as I saw that the stuff was actually inside the guitar, I was like, I had to connect it up, otherwise I would have done this video last night. So yeah, so a great one for the trade up things. I mean, who doesn't want a Les Paul? Well, apart from me, obviously don't want a Les Paul, but it looks to be a fantastic guitar. I'm really impressed with vintage guitars. I'd never even played one until about 6 months ago, when my pal was raving about a Music Man bass. Going, they're pure amazing, dada, you can get them really cheap. And then I got one the following day for like 20 quid, and he was absolutely raging because he'd phoned up about it 5 minutes after I had. It was an amazing bass, and since then I've had I've definitely had a cherry red SG. That was really good, and I had the P bass that I swapped this for was amazing as well. So Wilkinson, as far as can do no wrong, really. I don't think that they're not expensive. I mean, I think they're cheaper than like Epiphones and stuff like that, but probably better. I should really do a demo of this compared to an Epiphone Les Paul. It's a Les Paul standard, really. So as I said, I'm not sure about what to do with the knobs. These pickups only have 2 wires on them, so I'd need to break into the pickup to put in the extra wires if I was going to do the Jimmy Page thing. Jimmy Page has like a coil split on each of the volume controls, and then a phase on one of the tones, and a series parallel on one of the other tones. So I'm messing about with maybe doing that. I'm not sure whether it's actually worth the effort. The other option is to do the sort of Peter Green mod, which reverses. I still need to break into the pickup to take the earth wire off. But I could, if I put like one push-pull pop, give you the phase sound, which would probably be a nice thing. Well, a good thing with that sort of thing is you can just ignore it. You don't need to know it's there. Then you pull the volume up and it's like, oh, there's a whole other Peter Greeny type thing. Yeah, so look at it. Interesting that this scratch plate, I don't know if you can see, it's not flat. So it looks kind of melted, but I'm not 100% sure it's not meant to be. It kind of, it's a sort of streamlined it. It wasn't on the guitar. If you watched the video, the guy handed me something at the end. It was the scratch plate. So I'm not sure whether that's actually meant to be like that. I notice it doesn't have a, they call it a poker chip round about that, which makes it not like a Gibson. But apart from that, it looks pretty good. So I shall be doing something with that, doing a proper demo video of it, probably later on in the week, and then try and get it up for swap and see if I can swap up my way. I think I swapped up quite successfully, especially with having to connect up the knobs. It really was, both the pickups had been taken off and the rest was all there, so I'm wondering if there's, I assume they are the original pickups. I wonder if they're the wrong way round and that's why the bridge one's really powerful, but it's more likely to be something to do with this tone pot. I'll change that out because it's the whole thing's not sounding right. Anyhow, rock on.